This is the Coach Bryan Moore Show with Opelika head football coach Bryan Moore. And now with Coach Moore, the voice of the Bulldogs, Van Riggs.
Glad you're with us here, holiday edition of the Bryan Moore Show, along with Coach Bryan Moore. I'm Van Riggs as we put a wraps on the 2024 high school football season and close things out. And Coach, I know when you got on the job, you know, there was a lot of things on the table that you wanted to accomplish here in your first year, making the playoffs. You said that wasn't something that, you know, should be taken for granted, but it was an expectation you thought every year at Opelika. You made that and then some, making a good run, finishing second in the area. Just kind of look back on the season. I know some highlights didn't end the way you wanted it to. I know the ultimate goal was a state championship, but certainly a lot of positives on the season.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately we asked for a foundation to be laid. And, you know, our 31 seniors did that. And so many are just such special people that so much buy-in and belief went into, you know, us coming here. And there were a lot of guys on staff that stayed and are great coaches and have been here a long time, great friends of mine. But you know, believing in me coming in and Coach Atkins and some of the guys, Coach Dawkins and some of the new faces, just appreciate first the kids and what they did. You're right. I mean, it was a great year. You know, obviously, I've never had a year where we ever felt like we shouldn't have still been playing at the end. So, right. You know, I you know, for the kids, you know, disappointed that we didn't get them there, that I didn't help them get there, but so thankful for them and their families and the mark and the legacy that they left behind here at Opelika. It's just been you know, it's been a special thing to see, you know, for them to basically win as many games this year as they did the previous 2 years, to finish second in the region and have a chance to win the region and to play really well. You know, think about, Van, that stretch from Pike Road all the way through Central. You know, was a great run right there for a month of football. That was great football.
We kind of called it an amen corner, as a lot of Auburn fans know, the Georgia-Alabama tail end of the season, where, boy, it's tough.
It certainly was, and it was a great stretch run of, you know, a lot of people and coaches have talked about doing it once. You know, a lot of us can kind of, you know, rise up and play a game here or there really well, but to do it, you know, 4 straight weeks and to just give this community so much to look forward to each Friday and to celebrate with our kids. You know, that interception for Tyler Moore against Central to finish that game, and you know, the Reese Beasley field goal in that game, and the big early start against Enterprise, and even all the way back to Benjamin Russell, the Calvin's touchdown on the first play of the season. I mean, just a great year. And the Florence game, I mean, the first half come out and be 40-0 in the playoffs. That doesn't happen much. And, you know, our kids were so fresh and played so well. So many things to celebrate. More than the wins and losses, though, is the buy-in, again, like I mentioned, and the how selfless our seniors became, how much they pull for each other to stay engaged in that Hoover game. You know, to be down 16-0 and rally back. And be up 23-16 was just a testament to who they are and who they've become and what they're going to go do. And then for us to get the signing day and sign 4 kids early and then have a plan to sign more, you know, in February. Just a great year. You know, so many things to be excited about and be thankful for in this Christmas season.
Yeah, and I'll even go back to a loss early in the year, that road loss at Auburn. I think really it showed the Opelika fans just what was to come, and we found out how good that Auburn team was, and then the way it kind of set the stage for what was to come.
No question. The fight. I mean, you know, we had many times in that Auburn game to lay down and to not, you know, continue to push and to be down 14-7 at half, and then Calvin have a big series in our offensive line to drive down there, and then us to take the lead in the fourth, and then to fall behind, but then rally back and have a big drive to try and finish that game and possibly go for 2, as we've talked about. But just, again, so proud of our kids and what they were able to accomplish. So many said that it couldn't be done in 7A. You know, that 7A was, you know, this big monster that we couldn't, this hill that we couldn't climb, and for our kids to show, man, we're still Opelika. This is still, you know, who we are and what we're about and winning and the tradition of the whole thing with so many great coaches, many of which I got to meet this year with Coach Barfield and some of those guys prior to the season, and just so thankful to be back here. And, you know, my family's so excited about the future. And And honestly, to be back in a place where we can build it the right way with so much buy-in from our superintendent to all of our middle school folks that, we can develop our kids from the ground up. Our youth leagues that we've got some work to do to help them and be a resource and to get kids back playing football. And, in Opelika you can do that. So much to do still. But again, so thankful for our kids, and I want to celebrate them. We have a banquet coming up Thursday. We have celebrated them in our luncheons, and just one big thing from our community that I've heard over and over again is when they're done, what are these guys going to do? Are you just at Christmas shoving them out the door? Well, the answer is no. I always say there's 3 things they can do. They go to school and earn a degree. They can develop a skill, a trade, something that can help them make some money, or they can go into the service. And they have those 3 options. We want them all to play college football, but those that don't, where do they go? And so that's what we're set on right now is, where to kind of, put our vision and our plan forward for those guys, and excited to see the next step of their lives as well. But we're here with them. And again, I'm just so thankful for those 31 seniors.
Yeah, and it can be difficult, I know now in this day and age, to try to get some of these high school kids to that next stage in the college level, because we're in an age of transfer portal. Most colleges now are trying to worry about recruiting college kids than they are high school kids, and I know that can be tough for some of these kids.
It has been, and I think there's a dozen kids that are college players, and
Right.
4 of them have signed. Others have received interest. But one thing that I was able to, I'm thankful for some of the coaches that have come through. Their message, Sammy Coates was here from UVA Wise, and some of the guys that we know in this area are back recruiting us. Just be patient, and stay the course. Because once the dust settles on this transfer portal, do the colleges come back to the high school, ranks? And I think they do, And so to see that and to have an opportunity for those guys to, play in the future, that may look different. It may be, a walk-on that develops into a scholarship or whatever, but we want to continue to push and give them that opportunity. But it is a new age, and not only transfer portal, but NIL and what all that looks like. So it's a new era of college football. And so, but again, we've got to navigate those waters and help those families make decisions on that. But we do hope that so many sign, and I do feel like that's my job, is to help these guys. And so I can promise all the community and people listening and that we'll do everything we can to get them signed. We don't give scholarships at Opelika High School, but however, we'll do all we can to help them get one and continue their career, because I do think there's so many college players in this group.
All right, we know you'll be working on that, the banquet coming up this week. When you get back after the holidays, I know it's right into 2025 planning. You'll get the guys in working out. You'll start the workout process, and eventually you'll be able to get out and kind of do some team activities, right?
For sure, yeah. So we've already started lifting. We've been lifting the last couple of weeks. It's looked different. Last week was a huge testing week to try to get some numbers, some good hard numbers to work off of, because, how much we squat or bench or power clean or whatever, how fast we run, we pull percentages off of those numbers to be able to determine how much weight we put on the bar. So it's not like a freelance deal where guys go in and lift what they want. There's a program there, and Coach Cade McGee has done such a great job of that. And, Jared Fleming and some of the guys that have helped in that weight room, and all of our coaches really being involved. That'll be huge. It starts in that weight room. So really, if you look at the calendar year, January and February are really about training and about getting bigger and stronger, heavy. We want to gain weight. And because when you get into March, April, May, and obviously in the summer months, it becomes very difficult to gain, but there's so much running involved, right, and sweating and being outside in the heat and that sort of thing. And then March and April will be the 2-hour practice, we're able to get out there with our group a little bit without pads on, but to reintroduce our, base foundation, and then really get to May, and we'll be in spring and have a spring game. So it goes really quickly. So there's 5 real months as we work through the spring semester, and then it becomes summer again. So we're excited about our group. One thing that's different, we are losing a lot of seniors and some great players, but having the foundation, having a carryover, a year or two, of so many of our offensive schemes and defensive schemes and our verbiage and terminology and the way that we work out in the weight room, I think makes a tremendous difference and puts us ahead of the curve a little bit. And kids know what to expect. And so, that foundation, again, is not just about wins and losses. It's how we work in the weight room, how we carry ourselves in the locker room, in the school, in the community. So much of that's already been established, and I'm just really proud of the kids for buying into that again, and I'm excited to see it carry over for year 2.
Yeah, and I've talked to a lot of people. They said, boy, we started 11 seniors on defense. I said, well, there was 11 more behind them that played a lot, too.
No doubt.
So that'll be key, I know, too.
No doubt. I mean, we this didn't sneak up on us.
Right.
The 31 seniors and them leaving, we did I think Coach Massey and Coach Atkins and Coach Ferguson, our coordinators, did a great job of putting guys in position to, like you said, to play a lot. I mean, Josh Davis played a lot. Our D-line, a lot of those guys are leaving, but Therese Thomas played and Baby TJ played, and all these guys have played a lot of football.
Money played a lot too.
No doubt about it, all of them.
Yep.
And they played a lot of JV.
Yep.
So we're 5-1 or 6-1 in JV, and we made a point to play all those games, and we said we're not going to cancel them. We played a JV game all the way during the Carver week, and so we played all the way to the end of the season with JV. So those guys kept being engaged and felt like, hey, we still have something to work towards. And we even pulled ninth graders up at the end of the year to play some JV. Whit Cooper played a JV game at quarterback, and so many of our kids have played so much. And then we played 9 freshman games this year. And so those kids have played. There was a plan in place for reps, game reps in front of a crowd, and then obviously a practice plan in place as well that will pay off for us.
Well, looking ahead at next fall, I know the schedule will pretty much remain the same. You'll flip it, of course,
Yep.
and teams that were home will be away and so forth. And looking at the schedule right now, Coach, there's 3 teams on our schedule that will have new coaches next year.
Yep.
Looking at Ben Russell, Smith Station, and Carver that have vacancies right now with Bobby Carr going to Prattville. So you'll have to plan for that too.
No doubt. It is nice to carry over because you can draw. We've already done that. We've had end of the year evals and we've met on personnel that's coming back with other teams. This day and age, things change.
Right.
Kids in the high school ranks move too. And so, you're trying to figure out who, from a personnel standpoint, is going to be where. And you're right, those 3 coaches, and those are 3 really good coaches too, that are moving on to other places and whatever. But we'll the good news is I've been around a lot of places in the state, and so I've got a lot of familiarity with a lot of portions. So, coaches kind of make their way through the regions, and so we'll see where everything lands there. But we've had great coaches on our schedule. Most of our region will return with guys, and so again, that's nice to have that information, but they got it on us too.
Right.
Now, the unknown of like the Ben Russell game and what we were going to do.
People know Blake the Hammer Johnson by now.
They do. I'm glad he's coming back.
That's right.
But yeah, it's nice to roll that over. It's nice not to have to schedule, because I can tell you this, at Opelika, it's very difficult to find games.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, this is not a place people want to come and play, and obviously we're 6-0 in Bulldog Stadium this year, and that had a lot to do with our fans and the atmosphere of the stadium and all that our admin did to make it a great place. So, but it'll be nice to have that common understanding of each other and to be able to use that in some of your game planning.
Well, Coach, certainly enjoyed it, and hate to put a wraps on the season, but I know we're looking forward to an exciting 2025 and can't wait to get that rolling.
No doubt. Thank you, man, for all you've done, man. And Tracy's in the back, and Mr. Tidwell's done so much for us, and so many people. I want to thank, obviously Coach McCracken and Mac and our crew and Eddie and Jason Lee and everybody that's involved, and just so many people. And at the banquet, I've got so many that are coming. Mr. Melnick, that so many people behind the scenes. And I just told all of our coordinators, I called them this morning and said, look, don't let me forget a soul, in this banquet, because when you run a program like this one, it's not just me.
Right.
It's not just our coaches, man. There's so many, behind the scenes things. You send me stuff, broadcast of other games, of other, I listen to the other coaches, and just so many things go into the scout. And I'm just thankful to be here. And I'm thankful for all the people that poured into, our program, because it's not about me. It's about our kids. It's about giving them the experience they deserve. And we did that.
Right.
And that's what I'm most proud of, is those kids, earned it, but so many people gave this place life again and gave it a sense of that, pride of coming into Bulldog Stadium and knowing, it's going to be a dogfight in here every night. And I'm just so thankful for everybody, Brad Henderson and Houston and everybody that's in the box and just that make it what it is. All of our Coach Cahill and Dustin Ferguson and Craig Montel and all the people that build this program from the ground up too. Just, I can't thank everybody enough, but and once again, thank you for our parents. The sacrifice. I tell our kids all the time, think about all that these people have done for you. To get you to these camps. And, I told them that on signing day. Tyler Moore and Jabari and all those guys that signed, Amari and Malik. Think about all they did to get you to this point. And I'm just thankful for them and appreciate it and glad to be here and excited about a new chapter. But I don't want to forget the one that just left. And I want to make sure that those kids understand how much we love them and how much we appreciate them. So thank you, Van, and go Dogs.
I appreciate it. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. We look forward to an exciting 2025, and we'll see you next time right back here on the Bryan Moore Show.